to doing. So, alrighty. Welcome. Tell me where you guys are from, how you're feeling in the chat. Don't see any chats yet coming through, but I know we got people watching. I see Miss Pamela, I see Kelly. So you guys can, if you guys are able to, I know some of you guys are at work right now, so if you're not, you can't chat. That's good. Oh, okay, great. All right, feeling great. Oh, good. Everybody's feeling great, excited to learn. That's really good. All right. Well, I am excited, very excited to be bringing you today Demystifying Detox. All right. So if you guys don't know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do know that I'm Dr. Peets Talbot. I am one of the co-founders at Ocean Rock Wellness, and I am really excited about bringing Demystifying Detox. So as I've been on my own health journey, and I see Lori, she's saying that she's looking forward to learning. I'm excited that you're looking forward to learning, because I'm excited to be in a position where I can share this information with you guys. And it's really exciting to me in a dream come true type of way, because when I was very young in primary school, I wanted to be a teacher, but I also wanted to be a doctor. So when people ask me, depending on what day it was, I would say either a teacher or a doctor, because I really wanted to do both. But when I get to do these, webinars and these talks for you guys, I can actually do both of what I do. So I get to teach you guys about how to live your healthiest life. And that's even more important to me now, as I'm realizing that, it's only so much, even though we work as a team, it's only so many, so much people we can see one-on-one and things like that. And so getting to really help you guys to take control of your health. You guys are with yourselves 24/7. So you know yourself the best, and helping you to understand how you can better take control of your health. To me, that really is where the joy is. And I know the rest of my team members agree with that as well. So welcome, and I'm very honored to be doing this talk with you. So let us get started. All right. And what I really wanted to start off today with setting a bit of a premise about is why detoxification, and using this and really focusing, because this is the second time I've done this talk. This is the third time we've done this talk as a team. And we really are putting a lot of attention into talking to people about detoxification, because we really feel like at the root of many illnesses, there is a buildup of many toxins for people. And when you start to detoxify and you understand that process, you understand why you're doing it, and you understand how to do it safely, then you're going to see a lot of magical things come into your health. And so I generally have told you guys, especially if you've listened to this talk before, I've told you about how I had, went through medical school essentially, and my training, and was interested in having a baby. I was about 30 years old and was dealing with some infertility. And as I was reflecting on this talk, I realized that my issues actually started way before that. I was generally a really healthy kid, and I'm not going to say I was like unhealthy or anything like that, but I wanted to share my story because I think a lot of us deal with very vague issues, vague complaints, and never really delving into them or understanding what it was. And so when I was actually in primary school, around that same time, I was like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher. I started to have headaches. And, my mom, took me to the doctor, tried to figure out what it was. And they, pretty much said, everything is fine. We don't know why she's having headaches. Those headaches really kind of started to snowball into vague stomach complaints, bloating, indigestion. And that was a lot of my, high school life. Drinking lots of teas. By the time I was in college, I was pretty much, I would say, addicted to ginger ale, not because of the taste so much, just because generally I was dealing with some sort of digestive issue and I was using the ginger ale to actually help that. So I'll buy cases of ginger ale at a time to solve that. And now as I reflect back, I know part of that had a lot to do with toxicity. It was really manifesting as gut health issues. And what also started to come up for me during my high school and definitely my college life, I think once the hormones got into the mix, it was this low-lying anxiety. And how it would manifest would be, I would have these thoughts that came in my head, and it felt like I really couldn't control them, but it would say like, I feel like dying, I feel like dying, I want to kill myself, I want to kill myself. Like, I hate myself, I hate myself. And it was just, outwardly, I was really positive. I was really happy going. And I actually hated to have these thoughts. I really didn't make a big deal about it. And probably maybe my very, very closest friends might have knew of it. And I would say that when sometimes the thoughts were so repetitive about it in my head that occasionally I would blurt it out, like almost as if like I had Tourette's, like, oh, I hate myself. And then I would say, oh, I said that out loud. And then I would kind of reel it back in. So nobody really, really knew what was really going on in my mind. And what I recognized is that as I started to do some of my health stuff and really changing some of my diet, that type of thought pattern pretty much went away. Even though I had lived with it for a really, really long time, got worse during stress times, but it really went away. And so, yes, Miss Sandra, this is going to be recorded. And so when I lost my train of thought for a second. So when I had something going on with my health recently, and it's always a journey, you guys, and this is why I like to be on this journey with you, because just as helping you guys, every time I'm learning something new about myself, I'm sharing it with you, so in hopes that you might find something that actually helps your health as well. And so I noticed like that the thought came back. I can get back on track of it within a day. So I don't have these recurrent thoughts, and I can almost even get back on track of it within a couple of hours. I kind of know what I need to do now to just like fix that area. But there's such a huge connection between gut health and brain health. And one of my favorite nurses from MWI came up to me and he was like, Dr. Peets, I'm learning about how the gut health and everything in the stomach and the digestion and the nutrition affects your mood and the mental state. And I'm like, yes, and I think in extremes, I see that, obviously with my clients at MWI, but there's a lot of us who are not, got these formal diagnoses. And I think we're also dealing with those sorts of issues as well. And so the reason why this is all important, because underlining these vague complaints or very even complex diagnoses is a lot of toxic issues, okay? So and that's my intention, is really, really, really sharing that with you guys, okay? So this is one of the first glaring kind of pitches I got when I first started to do lectures and listening on to experts who were talking about toxins and toxin buildup. And so one of the doctors I was listening to puts up a slide and it's like, the world IQ is dropping, people are getting dumber and dumber, which was a change because there was a part of our history where it looked like our IQs were getting higher and higher and higher. They call it the Flynn effect. Anyway, those are details that are neither here or there, but it's all very interesting. And so now you get this concern around, in general trends in developing countries. Now we're seeing the IQs actually starting to go down. And there's a lot of theories about that. So in my life, and I guess this is coming across because in my life, we've recently experienced a situation with my oldest daughter. She's 7, and we've been recognizing that she's starting to have learning challenges. Now, it's interesting, her IQ is, okay, she's normal IQ or whatever. But for me and my husband, because essentially we went through school without any learning challenges, and actually I would say I was one of those kids that felt like I could grasp the information really, really good. And I would want to help, my peers or tutor my peers to get better. My mom would tell me, she had gone into primary school, and instead of being out at lunch playing, I had been chosen to help another kid like do their math assignment. I kind of remember it. She reminds me, but I remember, doing sort of things like that when I was in high school. So, I've been reflecting a lot on my daughter's learning challenges, and, it's just almost like really interesting. It's almost weirdly, now I'm kind of got to really, really help her and be in that tutor role with her. But to me, it seems odd when, in generations, before us, this never really came up. It's not like any of me or my husband had learning challenges. So we're just really trying to struggle, like, where is this all coming from? Like, why is this kind of coming up for us? And, why is our daughter, dealing with this? And one of the things that really kind of speaks to me about why she's dealing with the learning challenges is I feel like the toxicity that I likely probably passed on to her. I had at advanced maternal age. I was 33 when I had her, and there's definitely a level of toxicity that I really do affects how her brain processes. And so I've been really eager to kind of like delve more into this and really helping people, kind of understand this for when it comes to their reproduction, their family lives, and things like that. So let's talk about what toxicity is, because this throws people off, and I think this throws people for a big loop. So toxicity really now is just the level of chemicals we've gotten pretty much after the World War II. I want to say 1940s. We started to have a lot of chemical production. Generally, the chemicals were really made for warfare. But once the war was essentially over, the chemical industry started to kind of go into a production of how could they industrialize it and how could it be used to, I guess, for people to actually purchase or kind of buy into it. So things that were meant for, killing people in war and stuff like that started to be now transitioned to like killing insects and agriculture and all sorts of stuff. But what you should know, and it's a lot of information, but we saw a skyrocket of the amount of chemicals that are produced. And, we still tend to see that. And it's really, really hard for regulation bodies to really, really keep up with the amount of toxins that are coming out. And sometimes, we've had lots of times in our history that we've unleashed like really, really horrible toxins. And then, science or research or some of the safety stuff comes back, and then we have to kind of backpedal. Like DDT will be really, really big. That was the chemical used to spray and treat mosquitoes, and so that ended up being like widely spread around the world before it was realized that it's really, really not safe, and then pull back. So, these chemicals are now everywhere in a day-to-day life, and you can, wake up and within an hour of your day, you probably have been exposed to, probably, and I don't want to exaggerate, but I want to say something like 100 chemicals just within your first hour of life. And this could be anywhere from, the mattress you slept on, the pillow, the detergents, the makeup, the toothpaste, the mouthwash, everything, even just the water you use. And so this is the world that we're living in now, unfortunately. So it's not so great. Now we have the awareness of these toxins, and that is really, really, really important. And truthfully, I was one of those teachers that when I started to learn about toxins and how much, I actually was in one of these conferences. I was newly pregnant, and I felt like it was so overwhelming to hear, this is toxic, this is toxic, this has chemicals, this can kill you, this is this, and this is that. I really, really felt, like, oh wow, like I need to probably put myself in a bubble, but how can you really live in a bubble, right? And so as I've been teaching and talking to other people, I'm really, really conscious that I don't want to overwhelm people with how much toxins they can pretty much be exposed to. I don't want people to feel like they have to be in a bubble. I don't want to feel like they can't, maneuver this world, safely and toxin free, or, really trying to clean up or be as least toxic as possible. I don't want people to feel like there's no hope, because that's true. And so I started to withhold some knowledge, but I feel like that's not what my intention is for you guys now. I do want to share as much as I can with you. I want you to have the awareness that toxins are out, because now I'm recognizing that knowledge is power. So even though it can seem very overwhelming, and all I say is take a deep breath and have some chamomile tea or hour tea. We'll work it all out together. It can seem overwhelming at first, but the more you gain knowledge on things, so when you are shopping for your next toothpaste, you can actually make a more conscious decision, or a mouthwash, or even a floss. You just make more, better decisions. And actually, when you're kind of buying these, companies now that are more toxic free and are more natural, then you're starting to tell the industry, that, you're really voting for change, actually. And it's going to make your health better, but it's going to make generations and generations to come better. And so we're not all going to, get down, right? We're going to get smarter. That's what we're going to do. So the star of the show, when it comes to the elimination process. So yes, we know toxins are coming in every day. Part of that we can help, part of it we can't help, okay? But the elimination process all has to do with is focusing around one organ that does not get enough attention, but I really, really want to highlight it, is the liver, okay? And what if you guys don't do anything else, one of the best resources that I have found as far as cleansing and understanding how important the liver is this book that I mentioned earlier. It's a book by a gentleman known by the medical medium, Anthony William, and it's called Cleanse to Heal. Really good resource. It's nice and thick because it also has recipes, but it explains to you the importance of the liver and what the liver does and its role in helping our body to get rid of these toxins. But the liver also will, hold on to toxins until your body is ready, because it really wants to just safeguard you from this. And so it's really kind of important to kind of know that. And for certain reasons, it could be our genetics, or it could be just our lifestyle changes that, our liver can have a lot of work to do based off of that. And so whatever we can do to support it is really, really where you want to be. All right. So how does the detoxification work? So what you should know is that we really the importance around detoxification is all about boosting the body's natural ability to kind of cleanse itself and support the liver. So the liver, I find, is, like I said, a silent hero in our life. But when our liver is doing really, really good, it helps to support our other organs, such as our brain, such as our heart. It helps to improve the circulation. It refuels the body because it will help to release glucose when we need it, especially if we are in a fasting state. And if we don't focus, some attention on the liver, that's when we start to see chronic illnesses escalate. And like I said, the book that I mentioned is the book that you really want to, kind of grab. It's one that we carry at Ocean Rock. It's just $35. And it's also, you can get it on audio. I started off listening to the audio and I was like, okay, this book is too good. I need it in, a physical print so I can really have my hands on it. What I need you to know, and this is why I really like to do these type of lectures, is when I talk about detoxification, I just don't want you to randomly go out and just willy-nilly just detoxify. I want you to have some knowledge base behind it. I also want you to have some direction and some guidance, because what I've seen in the past is people detox or say they're going to go do a detox. They kind of really don't really truly understand what they are doing. They just kind of go ahead and go for something. And these detoxes out here could be really, really harsh on the body, and they can end up actually hurting their body, hurting their liver more than helping. And so you don't really, that's obviously not your intention. You really want to do something really good for your body. So you really got to know what you're doing. You really got to be guided right to do it, so you don't end it. And it's been to the extreme that like I said, I've seen some people end up with some very complex diagnoses like cancer, neurological movement issues like MS, and all related to detoxifying issues that they didn't really know what they're doing. And a lot of that comes with weight loss programs, because essentially they're starting to like put themselves in this restricted eating or in a sense, they start to lose all this fat. The fat cells start to release all these toxins, and then they haven't focused on how they're going to get these toxins out. And then you can see the body ends up, in a mess. So now, let's go back a little bit in the sense of why, what's some of the signs of toxicity. And I think this in itself is talking about different signs of toxicity could really, really, really be its own presentation. It really could take an hour, because I think underneath the sun, every symptom, every sign that you can think of essentially could be tied to toxins. But I'll tell you about some of the common ones that I've seen in practice that, kind of alert me to thinking that, okay, there's a definite toxicity issue here that we need to address. So instance, obviously I see, well, not obviously, some of you guys might know that I see kids and adults, so essentially 0 to 99 or 100 and above. But but I get to see, the whole lifespan. And so in my babies, colic is a short issue for a sign for detoxification, because again, that's early stomach issues for a baby. Skin issues like rashes, eczema is another issue. Refluxing, that's another issue commonly seen as well. Crakiness, fussiness, irritability in a kid, that's also another issue. And issues that I experienced with essentially at least my first 2 kids, I want to say that they was very colicky, refluxy for a really good part of their infancy, at least until about 9 months, and had the whole gamut of eczema. When it comes to my children, we start to see behavior issues. It could be temper tantrums, being oppositional defiancy, so unable to kind of switch from, one activity to the next. They can get very rigid in what they're doing. They can have issues with constipation, issues with falling asleep, staying asleep, night terrors, grinding of the teeth, food sensitivities, really common, headaches, stomach pains, bedwetting. Bedwetting is, another huge one for toxicity overload. And then it could be armpit smells, and armpit smells. And these are, generally, obviously we see, armpit smells when we get into pre-puberty or puberty, but we're starting seeing armpit smells really early in like our 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. And so a lot earlier than we would expect for that prepubescent age. And then precocious puberty means that they're starting to get puberty even earlier than what we would expect. And weight issues and psych issues. And this can be anywhere from anxiety and depression and ADHD and, all those sorts of hyperactivity type of diagnoses. And I'm going to throw in learning challenges, right? Not being able to process very well. And lastly, it's my adults, right? So our adults got pretty much some of what we're seeing with the kids. Yes, I don't want to repeat that stuff, but yes, if we're starting to see some of that in the kids, like eczema, I get a lot of adults, generally eczema will go away, as you get older, but then, seeing adults, I saw this guy, he had never had eczema before, but ended up with this really bad eczema, this rash on his skin, in which is seeming to be triggered more so or exacerbated by all the hand sanitizing. And that he's experiencing lately, but it's also a sign of, kind of toxicity. But you have menstrual period issues and infertility, especially when it comes to women, and it's fibroids and it's endometriosis and it's all sorts of things like that. And then with the men, we start to see also issues with them as far as decrease in their testosterone levels, so decreases in their libido, and now we're getting men with, mood issues and anxiety issues and those sorts of things. And depression would be really, really big, and mood instability, right? And obesity and cancer and high blood pressure, right? That's a really, really big one that we tend to focus on, and diabetes. So, lots of symptoms, right? And I didn't even talk about pain, right? But that's, and that's another one, these pain syndromes that we're finding people having. So everything, everything, will get better when you start to focus on detoxification. And so as we, as Ocean Rock Wellness has evolved, as we were learning more and getting, delving more into our holistic, practices, and just helping people to guide and find themselves on the right wellness path, we are finding that as we are working through detoxification, especially with our most complex clients, and really started there, is where we're starting to really get the really, really great success stories. For instance, we had one lady, I would say lady, she was in her 30s when she had a huge weight loss. She had went from 300 and something pounds down to 200, so almost lost 100 pounds. Within that weight loss journey, developed MS, had, falls, was eventually diagnosed with MS. And then knew for herself that, it really for her, she felt too young to be disabled and crippled, and started to work with us. And one of the things we started to work with was detoxification. We actually did and tested toxin levels for her. So we knew exactly at least what some of the big concerns were, which were heavy metals, and also thallium, which is a substance we can get from gasoline. either way, 2 years out, she's completely in remission from her MS. She had taken off time from her job. She's now back into her work field and was doing absolutely amazing, enjoying all the activities like golfing and yoga and knitting and everything like that she felt like was robbed off before. So, it all comes, pretty much from being able to focus on detoxification. And what I want to kind of say and pause right here would be, when you read in Cleanse to Heal, so if you guys get an opportunity, I really hope you do Cleanse to Heal, you recognize that Anthony William is not an MD. He's not a doctor, right? He's actually a gentleman that is guided by what he calls spirit of compassion. So he, this, I would say, a spirit that speaks to him, and he's been, pretty much being guided by the spirit to help people heal themselves ever since he was about 4 years old. And I really find it, kind of really, really interesting. Definitely, at this part of my journey and this part of my expertise, I'm definitely not shy to recommend something. I think I previously was, I think a year ago, I wouldn't have been like, no, I kind of need the science and research, but, the information is really, really compelling to me. And it's almost kind of my experience that I've had with my clients that I work with really closely with, is that sometimes, I'm definitely guided, and the research and having the research is really, really awesome. But there is also this level of intuitiveness now. And I think I've had it probably for some time, but I can definitely tell in my practice that there is a voice that helps me and guides me into the direction that I need to tell, to take my clients. For instance, I had a gentleman, he's young, we joke about it because he's a year younger than me. So I tell him he's young all the time because of course I'm young. And so I hadn't seen him in a while. He was diagnosed with diabetes about a month or so ago on blood work. And I had, started her own medication for that. And I felt like that was probably the best thing I could do for him at this time. And so I called him one day to really check up and see on how he was doing. Something was, I don't know. I had him in my thoughts. I called him and he sounded like horrible. Like I was just like really struck by how he didn't sound very well, but he was telling me that he was doing great. He was like, I'm fine, I'm this, I'm okay, whatever. And it was really, really odd to me, but I could not ignore this voice in my head that was saying, he's really sick, Aisha, he's gonna die. Capricorn kind of comes in. So I knew I was like, kind of like, had reached a block with him. So I was like, he lives with his mom. I said, put your mom on the phone. So I spoke to his mom and I said, I'm really concerned about him. Can you please, like, if he looks at you funny, he needs to go to emergency room. Actually, furthermore, it was all making me really nervous. It's like, take him to the emergency room. So either way, that night, his mom got him to the emergency room and he got admitted because he was in a diabetic coma. And it was not like, like I said, so sometimes, even though like, I actually, this is not me seeing him. I wasn't physically in front of him. So I didn't really have like vitals, anything. This is just going off. And it was just, like I said, sometimes intuitively, I feel like a lot of times, truthfully, I'm guided to help. So I always feel like there is, a greater force that really is working around us. And I know sometimes that's you know, sometimes people really believe in that and they're okay with that. And sometimes they're like, no, you know, I kind of need, you know, the science and I need the research and, you know, all the studies. And I just know, you know, I'm not naive to know, and I'm not as egotistical, and I'm very humbled. And I'm glad that I have that power and force behind it. And it's something that I want to listen to, and I'm not going to stop listening to. So it's part of my practice now. You know, and and not something I really share with people, because I'm not sure how, you know, people are going to take a doctor that listens to a voice in their head, you know. So it's all good. But, you know, it's when you start to talk about detoxification, you know, and really kind of helping you into these root cause things that you really, really do get out of. So let's talk about some of the, and this is what you guys can, this is actionable things to take home today, that there is really some top offenders as far as what we're eating that actually, you know, you're putting in on a daily basis. And even if you start to take some of these things out, you're going to actually decrease the toxic load really, really, you know, hugely in your life. And so one of those toxins are wheat, which is gluten, so flour. So you got to get that out. You got to get dairy out. You got to get eggs out. You got to get soda out. And I would say, you know, of the fattiest meats, there's pork. You got to get some of these things out. You got to get the bad sugar substitutes and all of those things out. MSG, you know, these chemical-based seasonings, you got to get them out as much as you can. And the reason why that's important is if you start to take some of these things out, it really gives the body a break. It really decreases the inflammation. It really allows the body to start healing, okay? And what's great is that we have this diving deep into detox course that we've put together that really helps kind of explain a lot more of that, because like I said, it really is about trying to avoid toxins more in the future. All right. So the reason why we do focus on these toxic foods, and I wish, you know, that we could eat these foods and they not be an issue to us. I really do, but that's really not the world we live in. You know, it's far beyond that now, and it's all about having the awareness. But when you are taking the effects of these toxic foods in, you're setting yourself up for the cardiovascular issues. You're setting yourself up for the high blood pressure, the type 2 diabetes, the obesity, the resistant weight loss, the osteoporosis, cancers, autoimmunity, fibromyalgia, chronic pain issues. These are all related to these foods. So great thing is that when, you know, I'm smiling now because the same guy that went into that diabetic coma came in to see me this week. And he was like, you know, I really don't want to be on like these medications, right? Because, you know, he got started on insulin and he's on a lot of insulin. And I was like, wow, you know, I'm so glad that you kind of said that, because, you know, he needed to be ready. Before I can talk to him about taking out foods and stuff like that, he needed to be ready. And I was like, I happen to be that doctor and has that expertise that really, really can help you to reverse this type 2 diabetes. Anyway, so now he's receptive. I gave him this whole meal plan. And he's like, yeah, write it down for me, doc. So we'll see how he's doing. I hope to update you on him. Let's give him a year or so, but see how he makes out. All right. So let's talk about, yeah, you know, and then we have our processed foods, right? We have these foods that, you know, are kind of manufactured and processed into different ways, and because they're highly processed, they come along with a lot of chemicals and artificial ingredients, and it could be dyes, it could be sweeteners, flavor enhancers. There's a lot of stuff going into food, and there's a whole, you know, like food really is getting made into laboratories now. So you guys should know that. So this is why we always support the whole foods, things that are picked from trees, pulled from the ground, like, you know, things that your grandma can identify. That's really what you want to focus on. And then, there is the, should I be all vegan? And I have people that I was like, I don't want to give up meat. I don't want to give up meat. Or, but there's ways to be clean keto. There's ways to be doing clean paleo, those sorts of things, where you can actually have some variety to there. So there definitely is a range. And I think people should also know that it doesn't have to be this way or that way. And you can kind of mash it all so that it kind of works for you, because I can't really tell you exactly. I'm a keto and a paleo, I just do Aisha, but I do it really, really well. All right. So refine your palate. As you're shifting your diet, your palate, and that means your taste buds, are going to change. And that's a good thing. And you'll find that, some things are too sweet for you evermore. And you're not going to gravitate. You're going to actually taste that artificialness and that chemicalness, and things that you used to enjoy, you're not going to, you won't enjoy anymore. And it's interesting because I think sometimes people who have toxicity can sometimes actually start to, especially when the toxicity start to build up, they can start to recognize and create an aversion towards food. So just the other day, I had a young boy in my office. He has ADHD, issues with focusing, and he kind of told me, like, he does not do fast food. Like, he cannot do like Wendy's and McDonald's and Burger King. Like, every time he would go on trips, he would really avoid those foods. And it's probably because he's already, very sensitive to the chemicals. And so when we start to get these shifts from more processed food to whole foods, it's really, really a good thing. All right. So the reason why we're all going to do that is because and especially when it, like, meats and stuff like that, is generally, whether you're still incorporating some meat, some fish in your diet, then you want to still allow yourself to have those things, I guess. If that's where you want to go, is nobody gonna, like Ocean Rhino is not going to say come off. We want our clients, though, to be conscious that their focus now should be more plant-based fruits and veggies, and those are really the star of their plates. And then these, like a bit of chicken, a bit of fish is not going to, is going to be more in a supporting role. Okay. And so the reason why, because we want you to know why. If you know why, then it always makes sense to you, and you can put it into practice a little bit better instead of just saying this is what you should do. Why are you doing it? So the reason why, the concern around meats is, and why you still want to cut back to some degree, is that meats are now got antibiotics, because that's how they raise them. They have different chemicals, and hormones associated with them. And so sometimes even with the organic meat is too much. But what we're also concerned about is the fat content of the meat. And so any type of fat and heavy protein, that causes the liver to do more work. And when the liver is doing a lot of work on digesting foods that you really super duper love, then it can't do a lot of work with detoxing some of the chemicals that are coming in either. So it's really hard for the liver to be able to juggle both. And so what you want to do is take some work off that, of what it has to digest, so it can work on the other things that really are all about keeping you healthy, anti-aging you, and all of those sorts of stuff. So some of the things that, I really still encourage would be, your chicken, your fish, particularly salmon, sardines, because these are going to be your less toxic fish, because that's real, right? Our oceans are now toxic, so we can't just eat any fish, and a lot of it, you'll run into trouble. All right, get more of the good stuff. So, and this is where I like people to shift their gears. It's not from thinking, okay, oh, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have that, because that puts you in a mindset of deprivation, right? And that's like, we don't love to live in that. We like to live in a mindset of abundance, and this is where you should focus. And so start to focus about the things that you really, really, really love and that you're going to be able to get. All right. And be grateful for it, right? Because when we shift into gratitude, that's also really, really amazing for us. So focus on the great things that we can get, the greens, the fruits, the waters, and, the legumes, the herbal seasonings, the herbal teas, all of that. It's all amazing. And that is where all your power is going to really lie. All right. So when it comes to getting started, right, it's all about, making sure that you have your right intention, right? You always want to start off with your reason why. Anytime you want to kind of do anything or make certain changes in your life, it's always good to set your goals. This is going to make you more successful in any reason. So if you know that you've been struggling with certain this, you can put that as an intention that I no longer want to have this in my life. Or if you have an idea about like what you do want, then always do that. So I want to be 100 years and be dancing salsa, and not even salsa. I'm gonna dance salsa around like circles around my kids. Whatever it is, set your intention, set your goal, and and dare to dream. Dare to dream, because and especially even when it comes to your health, and even if you're dealing with a complex diagnosis, what you believe in is where your mind is going to follow. So if you had diabetes for 10 years, so what? If you had it for 20 years, so what? If you had it for high blood pressure, and you've been on 3 medications, so what? You can still heal from these things. You just got to set your intention and believe. All right. So by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And that's the success for a lot of people, is just making sure that they prepare. And that's just starting to, as you are preparing your grocery list and your Wednesday, or if you go grocery shopping on Wednesday, most people do, but whatever day is your day, then make sure you start to, shift it towards whole foods. Make sure that you're nailing the perimeter of the grocery store, because that's where all the fresh produce is, and really spending lots of your time going down the cabinets, the whole way with the corridors with the cardboard boxes and things and packaging and blah blah blah. Okay, alrighty. So make sure you stock up, and make sure that you're stocking up on the good stuff. Okay. Hydrate is so important, and this is another tip and a golden tip for you guys. So hopefully you've got a few take home things now. Cleanse to heal, get the book, right? The foods to eliminate, there's top 4 ones, right? No eggs, no gluten, no dairy, and definitely no sodas or sugary drinks, right? But one of the great things that anybody can start to implement, trust me, I tell so many patients about this. Even, the secretary I was working with, she was like, Dr. Peets, I overheard you saying, do your lemon water. So I got my lemon water first thing in the morning. Exactly. So wake up first thing in the morning before you put anything else in. You got to squeeze some lemon or some lime and drink it down. Okay, so good for you. And then you can do another dose of lemon water just before you go to bed. Really helps. So why we want to do that is because lemon water helps our liver to clean out those toxins it was working on. All right. So all right, let's see. All right, so aid your detox, right? One of the goals of aiding your detox is making sure that everything you have is as colorful as possible. Everything is really nutrient dense, and lots of vitamins and minerals are coming through the food. And then you should also be taking some extra vitamins, because vitamins now are not as, some of the foods now are not as nutrient rich as they should be. And that's also just one of the things we have to deal with now. And zinc for instance, it's actually not very hard to get into from our food solely because of the zinc depletion in the earth, in the ground, and the soils that these vegetables are grown in. So but it is also getting the right type of vitamins and the right type of supplements and things like that. That's really, really, really also key, so I have to say there is a little bit of a specification to what type of zinc is also important, but also and other vitamins is also really important, and it's also a quality thing as well. All right, so the reason this all can get a little bit daunting, we know, is the same reason why we are bringing to you guys My Health Rhino. And this is our program that we kind of base a lot on, what we've learned about detoxification, how to do it safely. And we kind of put this all together just so that we can help you to be guided through a detoxification with us, And I'm not going to say it's easy, it's going to actually be a lot of hard work. And I really, really like this quote lately. There's a gentleman, Mike Williams, who said, if you do what is easy, then your life will be hard. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. So I'm not going to say anything is easy. It's all about putting in your work. All right. So My Health Rhino, renovate your health, upgrade your life. Why we created this program is after working with hundreds of people, we noticed a specific pattern. People want to take fewer pills and learn more skills. I just was walking to this presentation and somebody stopped me and was like, Dr. Peets, I've been on these medications. I need to come in and see you. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. So we want to bring health into people's homes and to benefit the entire family. And we love getting women, we love our men too, because they're awesome, but we love it because most often, we get the matriarch of the family, and she's gonna not only help, maybe her parents she's taking care of, but she's gonna help her kids, and maybe it's her aunts or cousins around her, and there's sorts of stuff. And so when you're healthy, everybody else gets healthier that is around you. We believe that you are the doctor of the future, and bringing healthy should be affordable and transferable. So what is My Health Rhino? It's an affordable online 6-week group-based personal transformation program. It results in mental and biological and physical transformation. It produces safe and sustainable weight loss, and it addresses and corrects the underlying cause of chronic disease. It's safe, it's gentle, and it's an effective way to detox. And that's really, really, really what I love about it, is how safe it is and how safe it is. And it's really important because, like I said, it's not about making yourself sicker while you're detoxing. My Health Rhino, it's 6 weeks. Week 1 is your pre-assessment. All right, you're gonna come inside and you're gonna get a intake of different health parameters, which we would check for you. And then you're also gonna get your supplements that are all included in. Week 2, it's our toxic world. We're gonna talk about the many viruses. Week 3, it's talking about the liver, understanding more about the liver. Week 4 is when we start to go through the cleanse and delve more deeper into that. So it's this 9-day cleanse. We talk about emotional detoxing because that's a huge part of it as well. And then we'll talk about how to live life after the cleanse. And the reason why this is important, because we designed 6 weeks about teaching you guys about how you can work your whole next 52 weeks or your whole next couple of years to come around detoxification, how to make it part of your everyday so that you get even more and more results. So it's how it is delivered. So you got 2 30-minute on-site sessions with us, with the whole team. Then you have 6 live 60-minute group coaching sessions that are done weekly. And then you have your health tips and accountability through our private Facebook group for you guys. You're going to get a lifestyle reset guide, a recipe book, a Healing Bermuda book by our ORW team, and your supplement kit. So these are the vitamins and minerals that I was telling you about that your body really, 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 really needs. That is just going to be super basic, but really, really important for getting your health optimized. All right. You also get a bonus. So bonus number 1 is that diving deep into detox course. I mentioned it earlier. This is where you can learn more about just how to clean up the toxins in your life. Okay, so this is really, really important just to give you the basics. Like I said, it's knowledge is power in this. I don't think like ignorance is bliss. Knowledge is power. You gotta kind of learn, okay, what I need for that. How to make my life healthier, how to make my life less toxic. Okay. And then you get Vibrant Blue Oils Parasympathetic Blend. I love this blend. I use it a lot. This is when we have to switch our body from a stress mode to rest and relaxation mode. And rest and relaxation mode for us and for many of us means that our body can detoxify and start to heal, repair. And so we're using essential oils to actually switch those gears for us, okay? And you get lifetime access and updates with our private Facebook group, and it's priceless. And you get direct access and support with Bermuda's best 2020 holistic healthcare practice. And it's all about our root cause approach. Okay. So, all right, so the total value, when you add up everything that you're going to get, it's $2,421. However, we got special pricing for you. You can do a 1 payment of $19.96, 3 payments of $7.15, 3 monthly payments of $7.15 starting in March, April, May. And then if you happen to be wanting to join with a couple or it's like a mother-daughter combination or husband-wife combination, then it's $1,500 each. And you can make that payment before March 31st to take advantage of the special pricing. All right, so here's the next step. Go to the chat, all right, and I am going to share it right now. myhealthrhino.com. Okay, you guys can click on this. Give me 1 second. All right, so that is the link. All right, make sure you take a picture of it. This is, grab out your phones in case you can't do it right now. If you're at work, I understand you're busy. All right, that's the link you want to go to. You can register right there, sign up for it. And another way you can do it is you can email us. So take a picture of this screen to email us at info@oceanrockwellness.com or call us 295-5100. All right. And we can actually register you over the phone. There is this guarantee, right, that we have. And I actually really, this actually means a lot to me because I never wanted to do a program. We don't want to do a program where we feel like people go through it and don't do better. But we feel so certain in it. We feel like you're going to get some gains from it that, you're not likely going to need your guarantee, but we want to give you a satisfaction guarantee that if you really are certain, you take action, you fully participate in the program and you do whatever it takes and you still do not get the resources or the results you need or the education you feel like you need, then we have a money back guarantee minus your supplement money, but we'll give you a partial refund. So really, 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 it's not much to lose, okay, when you join, all right? So if it works for you, great, win-win. But if it doesn't work with you, we're going to work with you to make sure you get your money back, all right? So only sign up if you are looking to make a long-term commitment to your health. You are sick, tired of being sick and tired, right? Sick and tired of being sick and tired. You are searching for safe, effective, and permanent results, right? It's not about a quick fix or a fad thing. This is real. And you're excited to learn lifestyle skills. And you are coachable, right, and teachable. You're ready. When the student is ready to learn, the teacher will show up. So you guys are ready, and you are capable of making an investment in yourself. And this is really, really important, because none of our programs are really meant to stress anybody out financially. We want to make it easy and affordable for you guys. But if it really feels like it's not in your reach, then definitely start off with the book. And if it is in your reach, definitely go for it. All right. So what are our clients saying? So prior to starting, so Jamila says, prior to starting this program, I could feel my health and well-being deteriorated. This was troubling to me as a mother of two, and they deserved to have a mother functioning optimally. After completing the program, I have experienced numerous positive results, such as a clear mind, increased energy, and noticeable weight loss. I would highly recommend the program for anybody that is looking to jumpstart, to a healthier life, looking for a jumpstart to a healthier life. And Ms. Donna says, if you are serious about living your best life at any age, then I would recommend Ocean Rock Wellness. The staff there are very personal, professional, and genuinely interested in your overall health. They provide great programs with no gimmicks, and they actually work and are easy to follow. I recently completed a program that gave me the results that I was looking for, and I came away completely satisfied. If you are serious about changing your lifestyle and improving your health, I would recommend you give Ocean Rock Wellness a try, and I guarantee that you'll be not disappointed. All right, okay. So, any questions? Any questions now? Feel free to type them in the chat. So these are some of the frequently asked questions. Will I lose weight? Generally, majority of our clients do. How much? It really depends, on how much you pretty much had to lose. Is there a payment plan? Yes, you can break up the payments into 3 installments. How long is the program for? It's actually 6 weeks, but we add on 1 bonus week, so it ends up being a total of 7 weeks. Is there testing? We do on-site testing with you in the office. I live outside of Bermuda. Can I do this program? You can still do this program, but definitely call us and email us to let us know exactly where you are located, so we can see if it's still feasible for you to do it there. And what if I miss a session? All the sessions are recorded. All the sessions are emailed to you. So that's another great thing is that you can always refer back to the session. So even, months down, perhaps like in the summertime, you want a refresher, you can always go back and look at the recordings, because they will always be there for you. All right, okay. So, and what if I'm on medications? If you're on medications, it's good for us to know if you can give us a list of the medications when you're, just so that we can have it on our radar. What if I do not lose weight? Sometimes it's in 6 weeks, sometimes it's hard. Most people will, but if you don't lose weight, then we're happy to help you to kind of figure out what is going on. There are some things that other things that you might lose, and sometimes you might have gained muscle. So a lot of stuff we'll kind of triage and work through that with you. Does insurance cover the program? The insurance does not cover the program. The pricing that you have is because it's outside of the insurance company coverage. Can the whole family eat the recipes? Yes. There's really healthy and nutritious, so everybody can eat them. And is there any other additional cost? Any other additional cost would be, your groceries, which, and your food that you're going to eat during the program. That would be, and that's probably usually would be your usual grocery budget. Okay, so we have a question. This has been very interesting. I am allergic to soy, so I make my protein with vital wheat gluten, as TVP is not an option. What would you suggest, given you have said no gluten? So Right. So there's other sources of protein that you can use, Lori. I would go for another, I would say vegan-based one. So you have pea protein, you have hemp protein, you have other, you have even some of the nut-based proteins. I would go for a different protein source and than gluten. There's just so much toxicity around gluten, and that will eventually, set you back. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna Shanda wants me to go back to the side, and I will. I think you got, so maybe you can take a snapshot of it. All righty, so, and if you go to My Health Rhino, so www.myhealthrhino, everything that I've listed here, including the bonuses, are all outlined on the in the web page. So a nice, good resource for you. But that's essentially everything that you're going to get, and then you're also going to get some of the bonuses. All right, and then what were the four? Okay, so again, Patricia, the 4 foods to definitely eliminate will be gluten, dairy, eggs, and soda, sugary drinks, those sorts of things. What is the cutoff date for registering? Is March 31st is the sign up. So this My Health Rhino program is going to start in April, and you'll see those details on www.myhealthrhino.com. So after the codfish cakes, the hot cross buns, and all of that, we'll start the following week. All right. All right. So thank you guys. I actually appreciated you. I enjoyed your questions, and I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully really soon, hopefully in My Health Rhino. And thank you, Mama Mullen. Appreciate you. And 3 cups of kombucha. Woo! All right. Okay, so I think that's it. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions or messages, but I will close the presentation and send you guys the recording. So take care.